Rock and roll fans across the globe have just received two major yet contradictory updates from the Rolling Stones camp. On one hand, the legendary band has officially announced the release of their latest studio album, titled Foreign Tongues, scheduled for July 10, 2026. On the other hand, a giant question mark has appeared over their world tour plans following iconic guitarist Keith Richards' recent comments, which have cooled the stage-bound enthusiasm. The birth of Foreign Tongues? Coming just 3 years after the success of Hackney Diamonds, 2023, Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood have proven that their creative fires are far from extinguished. Foreign Tongues is being described as a continuation of their musical exploration, deeply rooted in the blues, yet polished with a fresh, modern production touch. At a limited launch event in New York recently, Mick Jagger appeared full of energy. "We feel we still have a lot to say. This album is about communication in an increasingly noisy world," Jagger remarked. The Mick versus Keith contradiction. However, the euphoria of the new album was quickly met with a different reality regarding tour plans. In separate interviews, the disparity in energy between the frontman and the guitarist was strikingly evident. Mick Jagger, who at 82 remains renowned for his extraordinary physical fitness, expressed his desire to greet fans soon. "I'd love to tour. I hope we can do it as soon as possible," Mick stated. For him, the stage is where new songs truly come to life. In contrast, Keith Richards pulled the emergency brake. When asked about a 2026 tour schedule, Keith responded casually but firmly, "Oh, let's talk about that next year." Keith emphasized that his primary focus right now is purely on the creative process and finishing the album. "Not for this year, 2026, he added, stressing that he isn't ready to return to the grueling routine of tour travel just yet. The future of the Rolling Stones tours. While Keith has closed the door on 2026, music analysts predict that the Stones will likely launch a major tour in the spring or summer of 2027. This gap is considered a reasonable time frame to allow Foreign Tongues to breathe and settle with listeners before being performed live. For the fans, this news might be slightly disappointing. However, given their dedication spanning over 6 decades, waiting one more year to see Keith Richards swing his guitar is a small price to pay for the musical legacy they continue to provide. For now, the world can only prepare to welcome Foreign Tongues this July, while hoping that the human riff soon finds the spark to rock stadiums once again.